A striking self-defense moment out of Brazil is drawing attention after a father and son legally carrying firearms stopped an armed robbery without firing a single shot. The video shows the suspects approaching with clear criminal intent, but they misjudged their targets. The father was already alert, firearm in hand. As the situation unfolded, both men calmly revealed their weapons, taking control of the encounter in seconds. The message was unmistakable. The effect was immediate. Confronted with prepared resistance, the robbers froze and surrendered, abandoning the attempt without any exchange of gunfire. No one was injured. The threat ended as quickly as it began. A robber burst into a bakery, shouting threats and demanding money, sending customers and staff into panic. Voices rose. Fear spread. The suspect moved with confidence, convinced he had seized control and that the robbery would be fast and easy. He was wrong. Within moments of his aggressive entrance, police officers were already on scene. The response was immediate and decisive. Officers moved in with precision, overwhelming the suspect before he could react. The takedown was swift. The robber was forced to the floor, pinned, and handcuffed, his plan collapsing almost as quickly as it began. No escape, no payoff.
Tem mais alguém? Tem mais alguém? Tem mais alguém? Mais alguém? Sai daí, sai daí. Tira o capacete. Tira o capacete. Botar uma eu vou te matar.
The gate was still sliding shut as the man stepped inside his property, keys in hand, the day seemingly over. Then everything changed. Without warning, two robbers vaulted over the fence, closing in from behind. As the homeowner reached for his front door, they rushed him, guns raised, aimed, and ready. There was no time to think. In a flash, the man spun around and fought back, reacting on pure instinct. The sudden resistance shattered the attackers' confidence. What they expected to be an easy ambush turned into chaos. Caught off guard, the robbers panicked. Within seconds, they fled the scene, abandoning the attack and disappearing as quickly as they had arrived. What began as a normal walk down the street turned into a terrifying fight for safety. A robber on a bicycle crept up from behind a young girl and suddenly attacked, trying to snatch her phone and money before speeding away. But the girl refused to surrender. Showing remarkable courage, she charged back at her attacker, grabbing at him and struggling to reclaim her belongings. The fight spilled onto the pavement as both fell to the ground. For a moment, the robber appeared to gain the upper hand. Then everything changed. A young man riding past on his own bicycle saw the attack unfold. He didn't slow down. He didn't look away. He jumped off his bike and rushed in, striking the robber and pulling him away from the girl. The sudden intervention broke the assault and forced the attacker to retreat. The girl was rescued just in time. It began like any other day behind the counter, quiet, routine, until a masked man burst through the door, gun raised, shouting for cash. The shop fell silent. Customers froze. Fear hung in the air. She didn't. Without a word, the owner lifted her baby, walked calmly to the back room, and placed the child somewhere safe. Then she returned. And everything changed. This wasn't just about protecting a store. It was the release of every ounce of resolve built through long days running a business, sleepless nights caring for her child, and the relentless pressure life piles on. The robber sensed it too late. The balance shifted. Confidence drained. What he thought would be an easy score turned into a moment of pure miscalculation. A tense confrontation unfolded inside a taco shop in southwest Houston on Thursday night when a masked man dressed in black entered the restaurant, pointed a gun, and demanded money from customers. The threat was immediate, but so was the response. Before panic could spread, One customer stepped forward and drew his own firearm. In a matter of seconds, he fired several shots, bringing the robbery to an abrupt halt. The suspect collapsed near the entrance as others inside the shop rushed to call for help. Emergency services responded shortly afterward. Authorities said that thanks to the customer's rapid intervention, no other patrons or staff were injured during the incident. The attack was sudden and ruthless. The suspect stepped in, pointed a gun at the driver, issued threats, and violently dragged him out of the car, fully convinced the vehicle was his. But in seconds, everything unraveled. The man he'd targeted wasn't an ordinary driver. He was an undercover police officer. The power dynamic flipped instantly. What began as a bold carjacking attempt collapsed into panic as the suspect realized, too late, that he had just made a catastrophic mistake. A crime meant to be quick, a victim who wasn't defenseless, and a reminder that on the streets, not every target is what they seem. A masked man burst into the store, armed and aggressive, wasting no time. He waved his weapon, barked orders, and demanded cash. The female cashier froze, confused at first, then visibly terrified as the robber leaned in closer, his finger hovering near the trigger. The tension was suffocating. The suspect grew more hostile by the second, shouting for the money, convinced fear had given him control. Then everything changed. An off-duty police officer shopping nearby immediately recognized the danger. Without hesitation, he drew his weapon and confronted the suspect head-on. Realizing the robbery had gone terribly wrong, the armed man made a desperate move to flee. He didn't get far. Thanks to the officer's lightning-fast reaction and the timely assistance of a brave store employee, the suspect was subdued and taken down, his plan collapsing in seconds.